How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is Big Day Dave, and this is a map tour for a new mod map to Farming Simulator 22 called, I'm gonna butcher this name, I know it, Ossiacher Tal. Yes. We're gonna start with the description from the mod hub, and it reads, "Hello and welcome to my first map. I hope you have fun and let yourself be surprised. Welcome to the Ossiacher Tal map. The map was created from my home country, Austria, Carinthia. The terrain and path structure corresponds to the nature of my homeland. On the map you will find 46 fields, 4 meadows, and 4 forest areas, which are divided into large and small split sections. You will find a quaint village with a farmer's market where you can sell products from your farming and productions, a biogas plant, inn, supermarket, agricultural trade, fish farm, and sawmill were installed as productions and sale outlets. In addition, a building site is prepared for free disposal. As a player, you can get a starting courtyard with 2 fields and various vehicles and machines. On the farm, you will find various silos, workshop, hay storage, and 3 wedge silos. The stables for horses, cows, pigs, and chickens are also installed in the farm. The stable for sheep and cow pastures are located just outside. You can take water from the lakes and rivers. And then there's a changelog. Now, I believe this map was previously released on PC, and this is kind of what gives me that inkling, is from the changelog 1.0.0.1, it reads, "Added collisions at the trees. Only PC mod was removed. Added snow mask indoor." That specific thing about the only PC mod was removed leads me to believe that it was released on PC only, and then with the removal of that mod, it then is allowed to be on all platforms. So that's kind of my best guess. This map was created by Black Pat Modding and is 112.81 megabytes to download. There are required mods for this map, and they are Silos Multifruit by Omatana, Composite Machine Sheds by Vertex Design and Niggles, TMR Mixing Station by Happy Mole, Animals Placeable Pack by Puma 145, German Fire Station by NRXECKI. I don't know what that's supposed to spell. And then Fish Farming by Gwendol. So if we take a look at the map, this is what it looks like. You can see we start here kind of on the western portion of the map, and we start out by owning farmlands number 13, 14, and 60. Prices do vary throughout the map. You can see farmland number 22 for 34,000, and they're all relatively cheap. This is a pretty good sized field for 54,960. Here's one for 32,468. Got one down here at 91,226. I mean, that looks to be either the biggest or second biggest on the whole map. And yeah, it's pretty cheap. All the land here is really, really cheap. So you should be able to buy them very, very quickly. Even the forestry areas are relatively cheap, as you can see. You can purchase all areas on the map. You can see there is a peripheral area, and it costs you nothing to purchase this. So yeah, that's going to be pretty nice right off the bat. We do start with animal pens, as you can see, quite a bit here. We do have contracts available, productions right from the very start, and there are no collectibles. There are no mods specific to this map, especially starting here under the buy menu. There is no mods and DLCs tab here. And then under buildings, under the build menu, you can see, let me scroll up on my notes. Okay, there is nothing available under the buildings, the entire section of buildings. Now, if I go down, you will see that there are some mods here. Those are the required mods for the map. These are not specific to the map. There is Nothing available for productions, nothing for animals, nothing for decorations. But under landscaping, if we go to the painting swatches, you can see there are additional painting swatches. And that is it. Now, because we start here on our starting farm, let's take a look at our starting equipment. We go to the buy menu, and under owned items, under small tractors, we have a Steyr 8150, medium tractors, a Massey Ferguson 3670. Under harvesters, we have the Rosselmash Nova 330. We do not start out with a car on New Farmer mode. I ended up purchasing this and bring it in. I probably should have leased it so it wasn't in this menu. Under trailers, we have the Welger DK115. Header for the Rosselmash. Mowers, we have the K-Brand GMD 4411. Under teders, we have the Pottinger Alpenhit 4.4H. Windrowers, the Pottinger Top 342. Under forage wagons, the Pottinger Boss Alpine 251. Animals, we have the Silo King Trail Line 4.0 Premium 2218-22, as well as the K-Brand RA 142, and a Joskin Aquatrans 7300S. Under animal transports, we have the Flegel Noah TTW 140. Under front loaders, we have the Hauer XB 190. Front loader tools, we have the Alba Universal Bucket. Header trailers, we have a Nardi N40B. And under weights, we have two Adco 650 weights. So starting here at our farm, directly behind me is our sleep trigger. And I'm stuck. There we go. So it takes a little wiggling to get into that area. So starting right here, we have our horse barn where we can have up to 8 horses. A lot of our starting equipment is held right in here, as you can see here. Did I? I did. Over here is our pig barn, where we can have up to 400 pigs. And that's actually something that just dawned on me. I didn't show the triggers and points for the horse barn. So right here inside is where you have your feed trigger. Then, whoa, I'm stuck. Over here at the pig barn, we have our slurry output, our loading point for our animals, and our feed trigger is right there. Now, is this one that requires water? Does not. So that is it. Over here is our cow barn, where we can have 400 cows. Now, one thing I will point out, open this up, milk trigger here, slurry trigger right beside it. Now, what I think this is, you can see here, there's the little box here. I believe this is the straw entry point right here. And back here through this gate, back here is the feed trigger. So I believe that's all the kind of points of interest here. Now coming around this side, follow this around here. Over here we got a couple of greenhouses. Bring some water over and you'll be good to go. And then over here we have a repair trigger as well as a fuel tank. Now heading back to the over here. Then down here oh, wait, I went the wrong way. that is the one thing I'll say about this map right off the bat, is that it's definitely got a lot of little trails and nooks and crannies that you can kind of easily get lost in. It's a little overwhelming at times, but once you learn it, you'll learn it. It's pretty straightforward. But yeah, it's just something to get used to. Chickens can be held here, 150 of them. You have your egg crates pop out here, and your feed trigger right there. I'm stuck again. Cool little windmill. Over here is your TMR mixing station. You come under here, and you can see, there it is. You have your oh, what is that called? I am completely drawing a blank. Mineral feed. Mineral feed goes into this side here, and then you have your hay, your straw, and your silage goes right here, and your output right here. Then over here, we have a silo with 3 little bunker silos down here. Cool little place to put it, right at the kind of valley down here. Now, cut up around here. We got a hayloft right over here. Some more storage. We got our harvester right there. Now we jump over. And now I'm going to take the truck that I bought and brought down here. So first, we're going to go out to here. Here, make a right. All right, at the top of the hill, right on this side, is your cow pasture. Now, you do have access to this cow pasture, as you can see, and you have room for 78 cows. The quote-unquote problem that you have is, if you look at the map, let's take a look. We started here at the house, the sleep trigger. We then saw the horses, the pigs, the cows, came up and around. We saw the greenhouses and the repair trigger and fuel tank. Came back out to here. Saw the chickens, then we saw the TMR mixing station, the silo, as well as down here for the bunker silos. Then came back out to the hayloft, then up this little lane going up to this almost mountaintop over here, and we saw the cow pasture. Now, if we take a look, you can see farmland number 61 you do not own. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't use the cow pasture, but it just means that if you want to come in here and mow and have some extra material for your cows, you know, making silage or making hay, then you can't use this until you buy it. So, not a huge deal, but if all you're interested in is, you know, having a place for cows, then you can still use it. You're good to go. And now we head back the way we came. Now we make a right this way. And here we have our sheep pasture, where you can have up to 250 sheep. And your full spawn point is right here. Feed and water. Hop back in the truck. And now we can kind of start making our way around the map. Come out this way. Alright, directly across the street, that is the restaurant sell point. Now coming out this way. We'll make a right here. A left. A right. Another left. And over here is the farmer's market sell point. Now we snake our way back out. Now we're back on the main stretch, going around this big loop. This map feels massive, and I mean absolutely massive. The road network is not very direct. It goes kind of everywhere, very much around everything, and because of that, it really gives this perception of grandness, of vast open areas. To my right, we have a gas station. You can see what I mean. Like, we're getting ready to pull into the biogas plant. And you see how I had to like go off the road and around the back side of the biogas plant to get to this point. There's no way to get to it from the main road other than that trail we just came down. So let's take a look at the map again. We saw the cows, we saw the sheep, we went out this kind of paved road out to the main road where we saw the restaurant. Then we got tucked back in here for the farmer's market, came back out to the road, all the way up to here to where we saw the gas station, and then up and around to farmland number 70. If you purchase this for $15,554, you can see now triggers appear. Now all appear to be kind of standard ingredients, you know, silage, slurry, manure, sugar beet cut, you know, nothing out of the ordinary. Oh, wait. Solid inputs here, liquid inputs here, liquid output, aka digestate, right there. A couple big bunker silos around the side here, 3 of them. Again, back out the kind of back way, indirect. Back out to the main road, where we're going to continue to head around this kind of big loop. Alright, so to my left is the dairy. Buy that for $70,000. And come around this side here. Input here and output right here. Okay. Now we're approaching one of those kind of indirect routes I was mentioning earlier for the biogas plant. This it's things like this that just make this map feel much larger than what it is. We're getting ready to go to the sawmill. Well, to get to the sawmill, you have to take this little side road. And it's just up the hill, down the hill, around. It's not just a direct route to the sawmill. It goes up and around, up a mountain, well, through a valley. You'll see. But you also have to pay attention to what you're doing. This is something that you cannot just kind of hop on when you're tired or distracted and doing your own thing, because check that out. If you're not paying attention, bloop, and looks like somebody already learned the hard way. You can see this kind of gully right here with a bunch of lumber just stacked up. Now we're coming up and around. Just over this little kind of bridge area there. And now we're at the sawmill. Got your wood chip output right there. And all your sawmill functions right here. To purchase it, $100,000. You've got your inputs right here with your wood cell trigger right there, and your outputs right there. Now I have to head back down the winding road, the winding mountain, and pay attention to the map on the bottom left hand corner there, and you'll see just how it just twists around this whole little area here. It just goes up to the north and down to the south. Like it's a very long trip, but that long trip is what makes it feel so much larger than what it actually is. It utilizes the space that it's in very, very well. Now you can see right here, if I wasn't paying attention or just driving aggressively or whatever, I could go right over the cliff right there. If I'm just kind of lackadaisical, not paying too much attention, I'm going for a swim. And there we go. Now we're approaching the cereal factory. Purchase this for $110,000. Outputs and inputs are both right there. Now continuing down the road. And over here, we have the tailor shop. You purchase this for $100,000. You have your inputs here, a wardrobe trigger right here, and outputs right there. Now here, turn to the right. Go through the roundabout, out the first exit. Just go ahead and go around. Now I will say, this map has a lot of, I don't want to say subtle details, but just details that are not typical to see, but most, I won't say most, but some people just kind of not paying attention to them. Like this area here, to me, looks to be a placeable area, and what it's intended to do is it's basically got this big mound of dirt that you have here that you come by and simulate or do whatever to be able to come through and remove the dirt, flatten it out, and now you've got yourself a pretty good sized area to where you can actually kind of build it up and go from there. Now here to my left we have the grain mill. 96,000, can purchase that. You have your output here and your input there. I just want to see something just real fast, because when I came through before, I didn't come in here to see what this was. Huh. So it looks like there's supposed to be something here. Maybe this is where the fish farm's supposed to be, but it just didn't spawn properly. Because one of the productions, if we scroll all the way to the right, is the fish farm. That's going to be my best guess. I just don't know. So head back out this way and make a right. Continue to follow around this kind of smaller loop towards the east side of the map. Now if we pull over here, we have our shop trigger and repair trigger. Repair trigger is right here. Shop trigger right there. And now we get to this crossroad, we make a right. And real quick, before I get to this next point of interest, I'm going to go ahead and stop here and take a look at the map and see what we've seen so far. So it looks like we were last here at the biogas plant, came back around out to here where we saw the dairy, came down and around to this area here where we kind of tucked up and around, went a kind of big loop-de-loop, and we saw the sawmill as well as the wood chip output. Came back up and around next to the lake to here where we saw the cereal factory, then down to here to the tailor shop, to this crossroads made into the interior roundabouts, over to here through this first roundabout, down to here where we saw the grain mill, up to here to the shop and repair trigger, and now out to here. The spinnery is what we're at. And if we come around to this side, buy this for 60,000. Input goes here, output there. And now I'm going to go ahead and turn around and head in this direction. Beautiful church on top of the hill there. Like that. Now right here, brakes, is the oil mill. You can purchase this for 80,000, and your input and outputs are both right there. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab the truck again, but instead of going via the truck to my next location, I'm going to stop right here and just cut through this kind of yard area here, and that way I don't have to kind of snake my way back through all this area to get to the next point of interest, which is the bakery. Output is in the back. trigger is right there, and for 50,000 you can own it. And to dump your materials into it is right there. Okay. Now, keep heading our way through the roundabout again. The second exit right there. And then, whoops, I almost missed it. Tucked away back here. Again, just a little detail like this. This little construction area is awesome. And it forces you to kind of snake your way through the cones and avoid all the kind of broken area. This, tucked away back here, is the sales market sell point. And then again, we snake our way through the construction. Come over here, we make a left. Directly in front of me is the animal trades bale sell point, and then off to this side is the animal dealer. If you have pens and pastures loaded on the map, which under new farmer mode you do, you can come to this location and load directly into those pens or pastures. You can also load into pens and pastures directly from their location, just using this same reticle at that spot. The only problem with this is that if you load into the pens and pastures either from this reticle or from the one at the pen and pasture directly, you will have a delivery fee associated to you. So if you see the cow pasture, if we were to get our large cows, that's $100 a cow. Well, this one is 400 cows. That's what, $400,000 in just cows? 60 cows, $6,000. That's quite a bit of money. Wait, is my math right? No, that's not right. $40,000 for delivering an entire pen's worth of cows. That's just one. So that's quite a bit of money, quite a bit. So to avoid spending that money, if you so choose, you can come up here either with a leased or owned animal trailer. You do start out with one when you're on new farmer mode. Bring it up to this location, load directly into that trailer, and then deliver the animals yourselves. That'll save you the money. So now I'll come around the entire building. In this direction. Now make a left. Gas station to my left. Now over here, just slow down. Right there, you can see it tucked away back there. That is the agricultural sales sell point. Continuing down here. Now tucked in here, this is the sugar mill. And for 80,000 you can own this. output right here, and then input is tucked around the back right there. Okay, and I'll go twisting through this little village right here until we get to this right hand turn coming up. And then we just follow this along for our last couple of points of interest. Like I said, we just keep following this around, and this is again another example that just makes this map feel huge. Like you can see, we're just driving around trying to get to this next location, and it's just twist and turn and winding road, just makes it feel absolutely massive. But you're really not getting that far. This is the carpentry. You can buy this for 60,000. Your inputs are right here, and your wood cell trigger, and outputs right on the side. Now we're heading to our last point of interest, but we gotta continue to follow this long winding road. And coming up is actually one of the parts of the map where I think it's actually got a little bit of a problem. I don't want to necessarily say it's a glitch, but you can see there's no like concrete or anything that's surrounding the biomass heating plant. So you can put in here with a wood cell trigger there, but it appears to be the wrong texture. It's not a huge deal, not, you know, end of the world or game breaking kind of thing. And can certainly be put in manually. I'm pretty sure this is one of the areas that you can purchase. Actually, here, now that we got the map open, I'll show where we've been, then we'll pick up the thought. So we're here at the Spinnery, came out and around, nope, back this way, where we saw the oil mill, and then ran over to the bakery, came down and around, up and around here to where we saw the sales market, back out, and over to the animal trade bales, sell point, and the animal dealer. Then came back out to here, passed by the gas station, the agricultural sales. We saw the sugar mill right there, and then we came up and around to where we saw the carpentry, and continued on around to the biomass heating plant. But as I was saying, I'm pretty sure that this is an area that if you purchase it, yes, you can purchase it. It's no money, so you could just theoretically buy it and then fix up the kind of parking lot area if you so choose. But certainly not a requirement. And that is the map, and I am not going to try and butcher that name again. So now we're on to the point where I render my opinion. 0 to 5 scale as always. What do I think of this map? Well, color palette I think is really good. The only thing I will say is it's borderline cartoony with all the various colors and the flowers and all that stuff. It just seems to be borderline too much. I don't want to say it is too much, but it's certainly approaching that. But really, other than that and the glitch, quote unquote, because I don't know if it's meant to be that way or not, other than that, this is a really solid map. It is absolutely gorgeous. The undulations, the mountains, your whole farm is built on top of a mountain. There's little paths going to and from everywhere. Like this road I'm getting ready to hop on here. This is the back entrance to the farm. And you'll see it's all nice and flat, no big deal. And then all of a sudden, oh hey, remember we're on top of a mountain. So it's just the undulation. This map is going to really cost you to think. If this is a map that interests you, then you're going to have to sit there and think over, okay, I've got all these hills, all these undulations I got to deal with, which means I need to have equipment that's powerful enough to be able to handle these hills and get up and down. But at the same time, you've got very narrow lanes in some places. Like this, it's not super narrow, but you're going to come into some restrictive areas pretty quickly, which means that you're not going to have huge harvesters, you're not going to have huge sets of equipment that can get hung up and stuck on all the fencing. It's just, you know what, and that's something else too, is this fencing removable? Just out of curiosity. Oh yeah. So yeah, you could blow out all this fencing if you so choose. It's not permanent. So that certainly can help. But yeah, I think this is a very well developed map. According to the description, this is the map maker's very first map, and if this is their first, I can't wait to see their second, third, so on and so forth. Like, any further iterations down the line is going to be just that much better, because they are going to have a chance to hone their skills and really kind of add to their arsenal of being able to develop certain things, doing things a certain way, and getting just better and better and better. And I really look forward to seeing what this map maker has up their sleeve for any potential down the line maps that they create. I really, really like this map. Out of the 0 to 5 scale, I'd probably give this a 4, maybe a 4.5. I would just knock it down just ever so slightly because of the, like I said, borderline too much color from the flowers and whatnot. It just seems a little bit cartoonish almost. And the potential issue with the biomass heating plant, you know, half a point to a point, somewhere in that ballpark. But overall, this is a very beautiful, solid map. I mean, you look at this. You look at that field right over here. Whoops, the wrong direction. Look at that field. That's a perfect example of what I was just talking about having to pick equipment. Those are your starting fields too. Trying to stand up on this fence. There we go. These are your starting fields. And look how much of an incline. This one isn't that bad. You got a little bit up here, but right here is a massive, massive incline. And you're going to have a hard time and struggle with finding the equipment with enough power to be able to, ooh, jeepers, to do the job, while at the same time staying within the restrictions that are placed on you from all the fencing, from all the just everything in general. You know, it's just one of those that you're gonna have to, you know, figure out. And yeah, you can see just how much gradient this particular field has. Look at this. That gives you an idea. If I'm standing straight up, that should give you kind of an idea of how steep these hills are. Like, that's just crazy steep. I can't think of another map off the top of my head that has fields this steep. And to think, all you have at the very beginning is that little Rosselmash harvester. Yeah, this one here. It's got what? Oh, 175 horsepower? Like, that's not a lot for that big old harvester. And when it's chugging along with the header, that's going to struggle to get up these hills. You might have to get up the hill with the harvester and then turn it on and only going downhill. Like, that just blows my mind how much gradient there is on this field. And this is not the only field like this. I mean, not by a long shot. So yeah, just overall 4.5. Great job on the starting map. I am very, very impressed that this is a first time map for this map maker, because they did a really great job. But that is it. I hope you enjoyed this map tour. If you did, please show me by liking, sharing, subscribing, following, commenting, doing all the things the algorithms enjoy you doing that shows you're engaged with this channel, enjoying the content. And that being said, I hope you have a fantastic day. Take care.